burn bright like ancient fire. Through the void we climb, we aspire. A vessel bold with crew so true, into the unknown where dreams renew. Enterprise soars where shadows gleam, across the galaxy, chasing the dream. Through cosmic storms, no fear we show, for Starfleet's light will always glow. Nebulous worlds with danger rife, anomalies spark, threatening life. Yet boldly forward we hold our ground, in the silence vast where echoes sound. Warp drives hum, our hopes ignite. With every leap we chart the night. Unyielding hearts, explorers free, uniting worlds with every deed. Enterprise soars where shadows gleam, across the galaxy, chasing the dream. Through cosmic storms, no fear we show, for Starfleet's light will always glow. The galaxy whispers, secrets unfold. Through trials faced, our story told. To worlds unknown, our flags will raise, for discovery shines an eternal blaze.
Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to part 23 of my series where I'm looking at a season. Oh, I can't talk. Looking at a season of Star Trek, classic Star Trek, and I'll tell you what I think of each episode of that season. We're up to Star Trek Voyager season 5. Finally finished it. I've probably forgotten everything about the earlier episodes, but whatever. We'll muddle through. But yeah, that's what we're up to, season 5 of Voyager. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube. I'll just double check. Yes, we are. And we're live on Rumble as well. Just double check that as well. Yes, we are. Right. Explore the description. Where's my finger? There it is. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch, the USS Alcide, my books. Oh, they're underneath something. Never mind. Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. My other websites, my other channels, my social medias, and all that stuff. Spotify, Patreon. I did a test of a Patreon live stream last night, so I'm going to try doing some Patreon live streams at some point, if I get time and chance and stuff like that. But anyway, that's by the by. What else? Become a member and you get early access videos and stuff like that. And Windgrace is here. Earlier on, he asked me to do the phaser noise, which I did. There we go. And he said nailed it. Well, more or less. And then he says, I should do a Strange New Worlds video today, maybe tomorrow. I haven't been in the mood to do content lately. Has it started? It's round about that time, aren't we? I don't know. Has it started, the new series? Anyway, I don't know. I've not noticed. I've been watching Stargate SG-1 today. Anyway, should have been mowing the lawn. I'll do it tomorrow. They released the episode titles. All right. I see. Fair enough. Starts next week. Right. Okie dokie. I'll have a look at that tomorrow then, at the episode titles. I'm doing a video tomorrow about Stargate. I'm doing an update because there's been some news, rumours from like Tachyon Pulse, Jake Tachyon Pulse and Cameron Pasha and people like that. So maybe it's good news. Who knows? Everybody's saying we don't know. But anyway, that's tomorrow. Right, so let's get on with this Star Trek Voyager Season 5, shall we? I shall, how do we do this? I'll go over there, and I will get the old transparency up. There it is. And we'll add this to the stage. I'll full screen this, and we'll go through each episode. I'm not going to go into detail on each episode. I usually do it at first, and then realise it's going to take me a month and a half. What am I doing? I don't know. Full screening, aren't I? F11. Go on. There we go. Right. Add to stage. There. It's been added, honest. It should come on. There we are. Apologies for the quality, by the way. They're legally obtained on my computer. I can't stream it from Amazon. For some reason, it won't let me. I used to be able to do Netflix, no problem, but they took it off Netflix, didn't they? And Amazon won't let me stream it. I'm guessing it's a DRM thing, I'm guessing. But so we'll have to make do with these crappy files. The standard res anyway, aren't they? So even on Amazon. But anyway, so this is where we get is this as introduction to Captain Proton? Or did we do it last season? I honestly can't remember. But yeah, there we go. Captain Proton. Are you going to skip? We're having problems today. We are with bloody... Oh, come on. Get on with it. Move. It'll catch up. Just give me a minute. Anyway, this episode is called Night. There we go. Nice view of... I forgot her name. Never mind. And Justin's here saying, hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Yes, we are. I said, we're doing Star Trek Voyager Season 5. The first episode is called Night. If you remember, Season 4 didn't end on a cliffhanger like Season 2 did. Season 3, did it? I can't remember what happened at the end of Season 3. Season 2 were basics. What at the end of Season 3? Oh, it was Scorpion, wasn't it? Scorpion, there we go. And... but Season 4 didn't end on a cliffhanger. I don't know why. But anyway. That's it, yes. Constance Goodhart, yes. But anyway, she screams well. She screams well. Anyway, where were we? Right. So anyway, this is where we're introduced to Captain Proton and who is Tom Paris. And there's Harry Kim as, I can't remember, Buster, something like that. I don't know. Janeway sent Ralph to the Borg. Who the hell's Ralph? Oh, yes. At the end of Season 4. Yes. Sorry, yes, I'm doing about then. Who's the hell's Ralph? Yes, Ray Wise. Was it? Or Ray Wise, wasn't it? He sent Ray Wise to the Borg at the end of season 4, and 7 of 9 decided to stay, thankfully. Right, so all this is going on, blah blah blah. There we go. Tom Paris saves the day. Captain Proton foiled, etc. And there we go. The Doctor arrives in colour. I have grown to almost loathe, and I've said it before, Robert Picardo, and it does me head in. He's always bloody singing. It was, yes. His name wasn't Ralph. I don't know why I said that. I was wondering if Ray Wise had played somebody called Ralph at some point. He probably has. He's been in everything, hasn't he? Anyway, the Doctor's here for some reason. Can't remember what. But anyway, right, we'll whiz through because we'll be here all bloody day, won't we? I've done it as usual. It turns out, anyway, the crew have a lot of free time because they're passing through a void. There's 7 of 9. There we go, passing through a void. No stars. I'm not exactly sure how these work in real life. I know there are dark nebulas, aren't there? Such as the Coal Sack, which is a nebula. I think it's visible in the southern hemisphere, which blot out stars behind. It just looks like a big dark patch in space, but it's actually a nebula that's blocking out the stars behind it. But I'm not exactly sure what happens if you fly into one. Would it block all the stars? Wouldn't you see nothing from inside? Anyway, I think that's kind of what they've entered here. Or it's some sort of area of space where you can't see out of it. Whatever. And it's big, and it's going to take them ages to get across it. And the captain, for some reason, is sulking in her quarters. But and then we get the opening credits, which I still think are probably the best opening credits of any Star Trek series, maybe. But anyway, there it is. Look, the Voyager going through no light sources in space apart from Voyager. No stars or planets to reflect light or nebulas or anything. And they've been in there for a while. I can't remember how long. But essentially, Chakotay is the captain of this. He's holding the crew together because for some reason, I don't know why, Janeway's cloistered herself away in her quarters. But anyway, the upshot of it is, as they're going through this area of space, they get attacked by some aliens or something that live there, and they get rescued by the Malon. This is where we're introduced to the Malon. Is it this one? Yes, it is. See, I told you, it's been a while since I watched this one now. And the Malon, although they're not really the baddies of this season, they keep popping up. They're kind of the annoyance of the season. They're a bit like, oh God, what do you call them now? Them thick ones from TNG. Why am I blanking on the names? Anyway, they turned out to be, kind of thick but devious. You know them. Windgrace will tell me in a minute. Why am I blanking? I think it begins with P. Packled. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Windgrace. Yes, I know it'd tell me. They're kind of like that, although they're not thick. They're a bit of an annoyance. And as you can see, they're all weird looking. And it turns out that they're not. It turns out that they're not really bad or evil or anything like that. It's just that their power source on their planet, on the Malon homeworld, produces a lot of theta radiation. Waste that produces theta radiation, which is kind of. That's theta radiation is kind of the thing for this season for some reason. They keep coming across it. Maybe it's because of the Malon. But anyway, their energy sources produce all this waste that produces a lot of theta radiation, and it's super deadly, and they've got to keep finding places to dump it. So they've kind of become the scourge of this sector of the Delta Quadrant, because they just keep dumping their waste. Anyway, they found this void. When a particular group of male found this void, and they're dumping their waste there, and it's hurting the aliens that live there. That's why the aliens are attacking the ships that go there. Is this one of them, or yes, I think this is one of them. And obviously Voyager sorts it all out, and they end up joining forces with the aliens that live there to take on the Malon. And so we've made another enemy, although we do encounter them again as the season goes on a few times, but they're not like the Borg or anything like that, or even the Kazon. They're not that bad. But they're kind of an annoyance. But anyway, so here we go. And they get out of the void. There we go. There's an anomaly or whatever that enables them to escape the void, which they do, and get back into regular space. And the captain can come out of her quarters and not be miserable. I don't know why she shut herself away. She must have something about the dark. But anyway, so here we go. Look there. There we go. They're coming out now, and stars start appearing. Yay! Look, they're all looking and happy. Even the Doctor. I always think that Robert Picardo looks like he's got like a prosthetic face. He's got a real mouth, but the rest of his cheeks and his chin are prosthetic. Because he's got like a line round there. Look, as though that's the real bit, but the rest isn't. Bloody hate him. I used to be a huge fan of Robert Picardo because I first saw him in The Howling. I thought he was great as Eddie Quist in The Howling. And then obviously I've seen him stuff like, Inner Space and stuff like that. And then in this. And I was a huge fan. And then I fell out with him. But anyway, never mind. Whoops. Wingress says, because of the events ending last season, she feels like she's made too many decisions that have ruined the lives of others. Is that why she closed herself away? She's a captain. That's her job to make those decisions. And she just used it as an excuse, didn't she? That because they had lots of downtime. Should have put herself in stasis, shouldn't she, if she felt like that? Anyway, but there we go. So they've made it out, and everything's lovely. Look, yay! Nice shiny nebula and stars, and a planet over there. They're not going to go check this planet out. Maybe they do. Don't know. So there we go. That's the end of Night, which is a decent episode. But I didn't like, as I said, I didn't like that Janeway shut herself away from the crew. Anyway, right, next up. Which is this one? I can't bloody remember. Drone. This is Drone. Is she smiling? Yes. It's another thing that keeps popping up this season. The Doctor is helping Seven of Nine with her social skills. And she's got a lovely smile, hasn't she? Bless her. But obviously she doesn't do it a lot. They're like hinting that she wants to sort of like go on dates with people, which she does towards the end of the season. Obviously it doesn't work out well. Anyway. Right. Anyway, so what happens with this one? They're going on a mission, and they come across something. I can't remember what it is. I forgot what happens. No, and the Doctor likes taking his 3D photos. Anywho, right, but something happens. There we go. They fly into something. I genuinely can't remember. But the Doctor's. That's it. I've just remembered. The Doctor's mobile emitter gets damaged. There we go. And there it is. And so they've got to try and fix it, and they leave it. There we go. They leave it in the. Is it in the? I think it's in the science lab. They haven't left it in 6. They left it in the science lab. And some of Seven of Nine's. From what happened, some of Seven of Nine's nanoprobes got into it, so it starts basically assimilating. There you go, like that. And it makes itself into a Borg drone. But remember, the mobile emitters from the 29th century. I think it's 29th or 28th. I think it's 29th. So we're going to have a super duper futuristic Borg. And it's a good episode, is this? Oh, cracky, look, a bit of B'Elanna boob. But anyway. So, not the only time we see B'Elanna in the sonic shower this season. Just noticed that. We're hearing it again later on when she gets all mucky. She gets proper mucky in an episode later on in the season because it's another male on one. So she gets proper grimy. She has to go in the sonic shower. And it shows. Well, anyway, we'll get to that. Right, so here we go. There we go. See, it's doing stuff, and they're wondering what's going on. And anyway, long story short, there we go. It's making it. It creates a maturation chamber, and it's creating essentially a body for itself. One of the crew. It samples one of the crew. Does it kill him? I don't know if it does or not. I don't think it. I think it just samples his DNA. I don't know if we ever see that crew member again. But anyway, and there he is. Turns out he's not a baddie though. He's not a baddie. He's a goodie, and he helps Voyager when some actual Borg arrive, and basically it deals with them for Voyager. And I can't remember what happens to him. Why am I such an idiot? I don't know. Does he go off? Does he die? Oh, yes, I think he dies, doesn't he? Oh, yes, because she gets all emotional. She says, you must repair yourself, comply and all that. She's getting all emotional and he dies. There we go. Look, she's getting all emotional. She's like to Paul, and he dies. A hero. Look, she gets all sad and goes to regenerate. And she ain't in the mood for smiling now. Looking at her reflection and thinking about her nature and all that stuff. But yeah, another good episode. So we're off to a good start. 2 good episodes. I think season 5 is pretty good as a whole, to be completely honest. Berman strikes again. Yes, with his Belana in the shower and stuff. Is that what you're on about? He lets himself die to save the crew. Yes, he does. Anyway, right, next. So anyway, as I said, another good episode. And another 7 of 9 episodes. Most episodes of Voyager from season 4 onwards are 7 of 9 episodes, aren't they? They're either, about her or she's like majorly involved. You have to take a shower for the plot. Yes, now I get in there. It's like with the decon gel. Look, I'm rubbing decon gel on myself for Enterprise. Right, dirty old man. He's a man after my own heart, is Rick Berman. Get him back. I don't know how old is he now. He's probably 1 million years old. Anyway, right. So next up. Is it going to come on? There we go. What's next? Oh, it's this one, isn't it? I forgot to call it. Extreme Risk. In this one, Belana she's got some problems, some psychological problems. So she's taking, she's going onto the holodeck and doing like dangerous stuff, and turning off the deactivating the safety protocols. Is he 80? All right, he's a young whippersnapper. Get him back in to do Star Trek again. By the way, I've been hearing rumours, not rumours, but I mean people say, excuse me, on the internet that Secret Hideout are definitely out at Paramount. They'll not be making any more Star Trek. That's what I don't know who said it. It might be Gary at Nerdrotic, somebody like that. That he's heard for definitely they're out. Anyway, thank God. Right, where were we? Yeah, Belana. She's going to do some orbital skydiving here. Is this the first time we've seen this in Star Trek? Can't remember. We were supposed to see it at the beginning of Star Trek Generations, weren't we? It was supposed to be a scene with Captain Kirk doing some orbital skydiving, but they cut it, didn't they? And now we're going to see her doing it. Look, off she goes. I'm falling. Just like, I forgot his name now. That Baumgartner fella. He did that, didn't he? More or less. But yeah, she's doing this because basically she's still hurting about what's happened to the Maquis. Remember last season that learned that the Maquis had been wiped out by the Dominion and that in the Alpha Quadrant, Alpha and Beta quadrants. But so she's still hurting about that, and she can't feel that. But she's not. That's it. She's not hurting about it. So she's doing all these extreme things in the holodeck. I thought you needed two rank officers or whatever they call them to deactivate the holodeck safety protocols. That's what we were told in TNG. Obviously, Voyager's holodecks are different. Yeah, she's saying she's not feeling anything, so she's doing this dangerous stuff to feel something. So obviously, she's got some, psychological problems. They need a counsellor on the ship, basically, don't they? Did they have one before they set off that were killed? I don't know. Has it ever mentioned, that the original counsellor for Voyager? Oh no, I think it was mentioned. I'm sure it was mentioned at some point. I'm thinking of another episode. Don't know, I can't remember. Or another series that the mission was supposed to short term, so they didn't need a counsellor just yet. Because remember, Voyager were essentially straight out of space dock, more or less, wasn't it? Anyway, where were we? Right, so she's doing that. I can't remember the main plot of this, because that's kind of the B story. I can't remember what happens. The main story is. Look, she's doing this again. She's fighting some Cardassians now. Oh, look, the mail on her back. And look, she's got a dermal regenerator, so she sorts herself out in her quarters. And obviously, people are noticing, that she's up to something. What's that? What is it with this one? I can't remember the other story. Hey dear. But this is where they build the Delta Flyer. Is there something in? Is it a gas giant? There's something in there, and I can't remember what. And they've launched a probe or something. Or they've launched a shuttlecraft. I can't remember. But the mail on arrive, and they want it. So they've got to find a way to get down into the atmosphere of this planet to get it back. That's it. The probe is stuck in the gas giant. Yeah, so they build I think they essentially build the Delta Flyer to do this, don't they? So yeah, so that's basically it. And obviously everything works out hunky dory. The Delta Flyer gets built, and she comes to terms with the stuff. Look, why this? They go down and they end up, getting whatchamacallit, hull ruptures and stuff like that, and that's what she's doing. She's fixing the hull and saves the day, and obviously doesn't need to go and hurt herself in the holodeck anymore by the end. So there we go. And Chakotay smiling. And now she's having some pancakes, banana pancakes. Is that does having a slice of banana on the pancake constitute banana pancakes? I just got some pancakes, and I'm having a banana with it. Maybe there's banana in it. I don't know, but Americans love pancakes, don't they? We have them like once a year on Shrove Tuesday. That's the only time we have pancakes in the UK. Generally. Usually they have banana inside too. Well, I should think so. No banana needs to be in it, says Josh Temple. Welcome, Josh. Or do you mean, should that be no, banana needs to be in it? Is that what you mean? Right. Fair enough. So there we go. Then she's enjoying it and all that stuff. So there we go. That's the end of that episode. Extreme Risk. Not one of my favourites, but it's all right. It's fair enough. That's what she said. Okie dokie. Being rude now. Windgrace is being rude, I think. Being smutty. But anyway, Extreme Risk. Not one of my favourite episodes, but not terrible. I'll probably skip it, to be honest. Anyway. Right, next up. It comes on. What's the next one? In the Flesh. Oh, right. Is that this one? Right, fair enough. This is the one where they essentially emasculate Species 8472. It's a good episode. I like it. But I'm annoyed that they always do this with their baddies. They just make them out to be rubbish. Anyway, Josh says, I can have pancakes and cut up banana, but it's just pancakes. But if you put it in the batter and cook it, then it's banana pancakes. Right, fair enough. I just wanted that clearing up because all we saw was some pancakes with a slice of banana on. Anyway, Right. So is it this one? Yes, it is. It is this one. Right. So this episode, they come across. We start off. We're all confused. What are we doing at Starfleet Academy? There's Admiral Thingamabob. It's been in. It was in Space Above and Beyond, but it's been in Star Trek before as well, hasn't it? But I can't remember who was. I think he's played an Admiral before. Anyway, whatever. Hang on, where are we? Wingray says the original cold open was Voyager returning to Earth and fake Janeway killing Mark, only to discover it was 8472 in disguise. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. Voyager and Enterprise had the best unnecessary shower scenes. Yes. The decon chamber is cool. He was Xindi later. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I'm trying to remember his name. We're good in Space Above and Beyond, anyway. Where were we? Anyway, so we're at Starfleet Academy. We don't know why. And then we see, I think Chakotay is there, look, taking pictures. Borrowed the doctor's camera, taking pictures. And it turns out they're on a space station. It's kind of like a holodeck space station, whatever. Oh, it's I don't know if it's a holodeck or if it's just an environment they've created, Species 8472. They've even got I'm thinking Bixby, but it's not Bixby, is it? Oh, the bloody hell they call him now. Him anyway. Him that's, for some reason, the most important person after Chief O'Brien, the most important person in the universe. What's his bloody name now? Why can't I remember names tonight? Don't know. Boothby. Windgrace is typing it in now, and it's going to pop up in the chat. It'll be big block capitals. Boothby. Played by that super famous actor as well, whose name I'm blanking on again. Anyway. Remember, he advised Picard when Picard were a young man, and everybody says, "Oh yes, we all remember Boothby. He's been there for like 1 million years. It must be an alien or an android or something, or a blooming Organian or something." But anyway, so but it's not. It's a Species 8472 in this. Windgrace are going to remind me as well what Species 8472's name is, because I've forgotten again. We've talked about it before and I can't remember. Anyway, so I was having a little chat with him there, and yeah. So it's Colonel Ty's wife from Battlestar Galactica, who is looks proper tasty, I must admit, in Starfleet uniform. Don't ask me her name, but she played Colonel Ty's Mrs. in the Battlestar Galactica remake or whatever. And there's Tuvok and yes, they something happens. I can't remember what happens. The beam one of them over. There we go. I think they encounter him unexpectedly just as they're about to beam out. So they basically knock him out or whatever and beam him back to Voyager. And he freaks out, and this is where we learn. There we go. That's where we learn what he actually is. He basically self-destructs. Can't use the S word. Named after that squad. He does that, and so as the doctor's done an autopsy, says obviously he's not human, and he gives him an injection or whatever, and we see that he turns back into his own form. There's a Species 8472. So I wonder why is Species 8472 disguising, done this recreation of Starfleet Academy, and it's all to do with they're going to invade and all that stuff. But obviously Voyager talks them out of it, and we learn that they're not that bad after all. And that's, I think is this the last time we see Species 8472? Boothby's in charge for some reason. Don't know why. As I said, he's the most important. They must have scanned the files and found that Boothby was the actual leader of the Starfleet Academy, not the Chancellor. And it was Boothby, the gardener. Sorry, groundsman. Anyway. So they decide, okay, fair enough. We won't We won't invade Earth. We'll be goodies now. And you can stay over if you want. You can have some shore leave. So everybody has some shore leave, and we never see him again, I don't think. So there we go. So that's In the Flesh. Actually, not a bad episode, but I didn't like that. Again, they made a big bad alien race that could have been terrifying if we encountered them again. Just made them rubbish and not really bad guys. Which I suppose the point of Star Trek, I suppose, in it is that even our worst enemies are not completely evil, even though some of them are. But never mind. So there we go. That's In the Flesh. What's next? There's quite a lot of episodes in this season, by the way. There's like 27 or something. 26 episodes in the season. Remember them days? Next up, oh God, I think it's this one, isn't it? Once Upon a Time. Is this the Flotter episode? Is it? We'll get through this. Yes, it is. This is bloody not a good episode. I can't remember what happens in it. There's Naomi. Does somebody get injured? Is it a mum? Yes, a mum gets injured. There she is. They've crashed on an asteroid or whatever. Can't remember. But Naomi, that's it. Because what's his face? Neelix has basically got to look after, because he's a godfather or something. She's got to look after Naomi because her mum's on an away mission, and she's hurt, so she keeps asking, "How's my mum?" So he's got to keep her occupied, basically. So they go onto the holodeck, and something goes wrong with it, or something, or maybe not. I can't actually remember. I don't know. But they suss it out in the end. They get everybody back, and everything's cool and all that stuff. And I hate this episode, and it's rubbish. I hate it. So we'll move on. Josh Temple says, proper seasons. Yes, proper seasons back in the day. Then they split them season 1.5 with a mid-season break, then halved them again. Now we're lucky if we get 8. Yes. Rubbish now, isn't it? Rubbish. Because they want to make they want to make the TV shows. They've got to be movie quality now, aren't they? Because they get movie stars in TV shows now. There's no distinction now for movie stars and TV stars. They've kind of blurred into one, and they overlap. Whereas in the old days, when they did proper TV, you had TV stars, and then if they got good enough, they moved up. They were promoted up to being movie stars, and they never went back to TV again, unless they had something terrible happen to them. But that was the progression. You became a TV star, then you became a movie star, and never looked back. The movie stars very rarely went into TV. Obviously, we got some now and again, but that was not now. Anyway, tons of money, more money per season for less episodes. Not a good trade. No, it isn't. Anyway, all right. So there we go. So that's the end of that one. Don't like that episode. 100% skip it. I don't know. I suppose it's kind of a sweet episode of Neelix, because I think something happens. It talks about his sister, and his sister appears in the holodeck. I can't remember why. Something happens with this holodeck program. I can't really remember what happens with it, but it either malfunctions or something. Aliens get it. I don't know. And he sees his sister, and who died, with the Metreon cascade on Talax. Actually, it wasn't Talax. It was one of Talax's moons, wasn't it? And his whole family died. He were off on the ship somewhere. Anyway, but whatever. So there we go. We'll move on. I skip that one. Next up. Oh, is this timeless? It is one of my favourite episodes of all Voyager, of all Star Trek, to be honest. This is a great episode. I imagine it's a fan favourite as well. Because here we are, we're on a snowy planet, and we see a couple of people. There they are. Turns out it's Chakotay and Harry came. Oh, for Pete's sake. Go back again. Back. And they're looking for something under the ice, and it's going to show us what that something is. It's Voyager, look. You can just make it out. Voyager's under the ice. What's it doing there? How did it get there? We'll find out, don't we? So here they are. Yeah, they get on board Voyager. Lots of frozen dead bodies about. Even the captain. There they are. Look, all the crew are dead. So we're wondering what's going on. And it turns out it's 15 years. I think it's 15 years. 15 years in the future. And Chakotay and Harry have come back to save Voyager. There's 7 of 9. They want 7 of 9 because she's got all the Borgified stuff in. But they don't need all of her. So I think essentially, do they chop her head off or something like that? Basically that. They just need her cranial implants. So I think essentially they chop her head off. Rather than just taking her. Anyway, so then we get a flashback to see what happens. They've got the new, is it Slipstream Drive? I think it's the Slipstream Drive, isn't it? So they're going to be home in no time at all. Yay! And obviously it all goes wrong. So they find out that the ship will tear itself apart or whatever because they've miscalculated. So the solution is to fly a shuttlecraft. I think it's the Delta Flyer. I think, or is it just? I think it's the Delta Flyer. I don't think it's just a shuttlecraft. They fly the Delta Flyer in front of Voyager to analyze the slipstream. In front of Voyager, and then they can feed the data back so that the slipstream doesn't, collapse or whatever. That's the plan. But it collapsed. It all went wrong, and Voyager crashed. But they got home. Did Harry and Chakotay? They got home, and now Harry's angry about it. Chakotay, because he's 15 years older, he's got the Malin streak, or he's related to Dickie Davis. Look him up. They've found a way. They've come back. Oh, right. They've also got the Doctor's mobile emitter or whatever. They found that on Voyager, and they've come back to put it all right. They need to send something back through time, the correct sequence of commands or whatever to save Voyager. Because Harry Kim's worked it out, he says. So that's what they're doing. There we go. There we see Captain LaForge on the. Is he on the Challenger? I think he is. Going to show it. How is it going to show it? The Challenger. Let's have a look. There's the Delta Flyer. There it is. There's the USS Challenger, Galaxy class. Yay! So he's gone to stop them because they know what they're doing and they don't want them to change the timeline, but they're gonna anyway. Anyway, it turns out his calculations were wrong, and nothing happens. So he's got to work out what to do, and somehow he has time. Harry Kim, I'm talking about. He has time to work out what to do, and also to record a quick message to himself, which he does. So it basically sends the figures to 7 of 9 to her head, whatever, to her implants, a new set of coordinates, whatever, I don't know, figures. So she says, "Oh, I'm getting some stuff through." And says, "Oh, right, enter the figures." So she does, and it collapses the slipstream, thus saving Voyager, but still in the Delta quadrant. But they don't know what happened, and the Delta Flyer blows up in the future. The Delta Flyer blows up, but they've saved Voyager, and this is where he gets the message from himself. I forgot what he says to himself. I don't know. I'd probably just say, you know the Delaney sisters. Just get on with it, mate. With either one of them. But anyway, so there we go. A good episode, one of the best episodes. It's timeless. A really fun one, and where Harry Kim is he's angry. He's angry as Harry. In this season, he does a lot of growing up, does Harry Kim. And he gets angry a few times as well. And breaks the rules more than once. But anyway, in Timeless, it was nice. We got to see Captain LaForge before he became Commodore LaForge in season 3 of Picard, which was overrated in my opinion. But anyway, next. What's the next episode? Because I can't remember. Infinite Regress. Which one's this one? When Voyager, because I genuinely can't remember, when Voyager brings aboard an advanced piece of Borg technology from a salvaged Borg cube, 7 of 9 begins to take on the personalities of the people. All right, yes, remember this one, assimilated by the cube. This one's a bit like Masks from TNG, where Data, so like that alien library accessed Data or whatever, and he started acting out as all the different people from the ancient civilization. This is kind of like that for 7 of 9, except she starts acting like the people that the Borg have assimilated. And it's okay. Is that? I don't know what the other story is. If there's another, usually an A and a B story. But there we go. We see. There we go. We see. For some reason, she's got a reflection of a Klingon. I'm guessing that's just what she's seeing. I don't know. But she looks like a Klingon in the reflection. She's stealing food from the kitchen because she thinks she's Klingon. But yeah. So they've got to suss that out. She's going to play Caddiscot. I don't know how you say it. Caddiscot. I don't know. With Naomi Wildman, but she's you can see she's not been 7 now. She's been somebody else, and it's all confusing for everybody. It's the we go. It's the Borg. I forgot to call it. Oh, for God's sake, where is it? Show us it. There we go. Oh, missed it again. There we go. It's that. The Borg thingamabob. I can't remember what it's called. But it's super important in Borg vessels. I think it's the central computer core or whatever. And it has got a name, but I can't remember what it is. It's that. And they're going to try and get that. But some other aliens arrive and they want it as well. So obviously it's all going to kick off. But they suss it out. I think they just blow it up in the end or whatever. There we go. These aliens arrive with their quasi-futuristic plastic clothes and the weird little things. They'd just be off-putting, wouldn't they? Anyway, obviously they want it, the Borg. I can't remember what they call it. Plexi module. I don't know, something like that. I think it's got an X in it somewhere. But obviously they suss it out, and I think they end up destroying it or deactivating it or something. Tuvok goes into her mind, mind melds with her to help her in her mind, and we've seen all these loads of people in her mind that were assimilated by the Borg, and so it's going to help her with that. So they end up deactivating it or whatever, and everything's lovely and everything's sorted out, and she's back to normal, and she's going to go play Caddiscot again with Naomi Wildman, and there we go. An okay episode, not too bad, not as good as Masks. I love that. I love Masks. I'm one of the few people that really likes Masks. But a decent enough episode. I wish I could remember what that Borg thing were called. I don't know. But anyway. So there we go. That was Infinite Regress. Next up. What's this? It's got bloody in it, hasn't it? Nothing Human. A wounded alien is brought on board from a stranded vessel and attaches itself to B'Elanna Torres. Okie dokie. As you may notice, I have little memory of this one. It'll come to me. And anyway, doctor's giving one of his photo talks, and obviously everybody's bored. Nobody wants to be there, and all that. So there we go. Right. So have we got there yet? Come on. So what's this alien? I can't remember. Remember it a bit. Oh, there we go. There it is. It looks a bit crap, doesn't it? That's something from bloody Twilight Zone from the 60s, doesn't it? Or Outer Limits. Looks bloody rubbish. But anyway, it attaches itself to B'Elanna somehow. Oh, yes, that's it. Yeah, I remember now. Yes. And the only person that can help them is a hologram. I've never understood how this really works. They've done it before in Star Trek, haven't they? They've just said, using the personnel files and data files for this person, create a hologram of them. And then it does, and they're exactly like that person was. How does it do that? I don't know. It's the future. It's Star Trek magic. Anyway, the only person that can help her, like a Cardassian exobiologist fella, and obviously she doesn't want to be helped by him because the Maquis, were at war with the Cardassians, weren't they? And I think he ended up, he were like a Dr. Mengele type character during the occupation, experimented on Bajorans and stuff like that. And there is another crew member who recognises him and says, we don't want anything to do with him. But anyway. But the need is expertise. Look, he says, he were horrible and he killed loads of people because he were a Nazi experimenting on Bajorans. So this is the ethical thing for this episode: is do they use his knowledge, the knowledge that he has gained from these, atrocities that he's committed, to save B'Elanna's life, or not? And it turns out they do. But then the doctor, because they were thinking of keeping him around because he's super clever and all that. But then the doctor decides, nah, I'll just delete you. So they use him and then delete him. Because the doctor became quite attached to him as well. Before he learned about what he'd done, they kind of became friends, I suppose. And the doctor had like a kindred spirit now with him, two holographic life forms, in quotes, on the ship. So he didn't want to delete him, but then he decides to at the end. So and B'Elanna's saved, obviously. So there we go. That's him saying, "Look, I'm going to delete you. So bugger off." He doesn't even save it. He actually deletes everything to do with him. So hope they don't need him again. But anyway. So there we go. An okay episode, a good moral quandary episode. You could say a good Star Trek episode, because that's what good Star Trek's all about, isn't it? These, as I said, moral quandaries and these decisions that they have to make. So there we go. That was that one. I forgot what it was called already. Never mind. Next. There it is. There's Voyager. What's the next episode? It is 30 Days. This is one where Tom gets into trouble. And he gets sent to the brig for 30 days. They find it's not really a planet. They just find a sea in space it's in the shape of a planet. So obviously a sphere of water, but it's not big enough to be a planet. It's like artificially made hundreds of thousands of years ago. And these people have moved in. These aliens have moved in, and all that, and they're friendly and all that stuff. But we learn that Tom's done something wrong and he's in the brig and he's been demoted to ensign and all that. And he's been sent to the brig for 30 days. Not very private, is it? I've noticed, Starfleet brigs. Well, everyone wants to go for a dump. At least in the prison cell, even if you're sharing with somebody, it's not open for all the world to see, is it? Only your cellmate sees you having a crap. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, it turns out, a bit of Captain Proton as well. It turns out on this world, the machinery. It's him, by the way, Martin from Stargate SG-1. I can't remember the actor's name. I do apologise. He has passed away, hasn't he? But he's Martin from Stargate SG-1. The alien technology at the heart of the ocean, the sea world. I'm sure it's got a name. Is malfunctioning, and the sea is going to dissipate into space eventually. And Tom wants to help them, but they don't want that. They don't want Voyager's help. So Jamie says, "Well, they don't want our help, So what can we do?" And he says, "Well, they didn't build it. They've just moved in. So we're not breaking the Prime Directive or anything." He says, "Well, we're not helping them, and we're going." So Tom steals, not steal. Well, yeah, he does steal the Delta Flyer and flies through the ocean and fixes this stuff, but sorts it all out. But then he's in trouble by the time he gets back, and all that, and ends up in the brig. But for doing, he did the right thing in the wrong way, which could be argued that were at the end of season 4 of Babylon 5 with John Sheridan. The Earth president said to him, "You did the right thing in the wrong way." That's kind of what he did. And it got him demoted and chucked in prison for 30 days. All our cells are like that, open to viewing from those in and out. Only solitary is closed. You've got bars and stuff, haven't you, in American prisons. British prisons, they are cells with doors on, with a hatch. Not that I've been to one, they might have changed now, I don't know, but that's what they used to be. Only prisons are closed doors nowadays. Okie dokie. He was just in jail. Yeah, but for 30 days. Anyway, that's by the by. So he got demoted. So he's now Ensign Tom Paris. And I think there is a bit later on where we'll see Lieutenant Paris again. And we're like, how come he's Lieutenant Paris again? And then we find out. But another decent episode. He's writing a letter as well to his dad, Admiral Paris. Not that he'll see it, I don't know. But anyway, a decent episode. And so now him and Harry Kim are the same rank. But I think he gets promoted again to lieutenant. Poor Harry doesn't get a promotion. I tell you, justice for Harry. But he does do something bad later on in this season. And I don't know why did she reduce him to crewman or something? I don't know, but he just stays in it. But he gets a reprimand. But that's later on. Next episode. Hey, oh, look. What's this one? Counterpoint. While passing through divorce space, Voyager's routinely search for telepaths. This is an okay episode. It's not brilliant or anything like that, but it's okay. Josh says, I had a buddy that was in jail for almost a year, not prison-worthy crimes. Okie dokie. I thought jail would just... Saying that, though, we do have a prison near me in the city of Leeds that is called Armley Jail, but it is actually a prison. But anyway, I don't know what the distinction is. Maybe it's just an old-fashioned term in the UK. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. Right, so Voyager is passing through divorce space, and the ship they've got something against telepaths for some reason. So they keep stopping Voyager and routinely searching the ship for telepaths. So that means Tuvok has got to go into hiding. What they're doing, they're going into hiding because they've got some telepaths, Devore telepaths, rebels, or you want to call them, on Voyager, and they put them in the transporter buffer until the search is over. But so that's basically the gist of this episode. That's what's going on. But then, hang on, where is he? This fella, he wants to defect. He's like a high-ranking divorce chap, and he wants to defect. So he comes onto Voyager and says, "I want to defect, and I'll show you how to get through divorce space and all that stuff." And this way, all right, we learn that there he is. It's Randy Oglesby. Why do I remember his name? Maybe because it's weird. Who is I can't remember his name. He played one of the Zindi in Enterprise. He's been in Star Trek as well in other roles, but he's one of the telepaths that Voyager's hiding. So anyway, turns out that he's pretending to be a goodie now. Turns out he's not. He's not a goodie. He's a baddie. Adam Gamer's here. Hello, Adam. Welcome to the show. Adam, we're playing a game earlier on. I forgot what it was. I did check in and I forgot what you were playing. I'm terrible. Can't remember anything. I'm sure I'm going to see now. But go and subscribe to Adam Gamer's channel. He does live gaming streams, which is something I haven't done for a while. I'm supposed to be playing that James Bond First Light game, and I've kind of fallen out with it, and I don't want to play it anymore, but I suppose I'll have to. But anyway, because I kept dying, and I don't like dying in games. Anyway, turns out he's not really a goodie. He is a baddie, and we're all a ruse, and they bamboozle them and get the telepaths to safety. But there we go. But anyway, it's an okay episode. It is. It's not too bad. Not too bad. But she kind of nearly falls in love with him, does Janeway, because obviously she's not had much action, I'm guessing. Oh, dear. Right, next up. What's next? Because I can't remember. That will counterpoint. Latent image. Doctor. Oh, all right. Here we go. This is a good example of something really bad happening to somebody, and by the next episode, everything's fine. It kind of annoys me. It's a good episode, but it does kind of annoy me. Doctor finds out that some of his memories have been blocked. So there we go. So basically, yeah, the gist of this episode is the Doctor finds out that is examining his patients and stuff, and then he's saying, "Hang on, something's happened to you here, and I don't remember you. Obviously, you've had a medical procedure in the last month or whatever, and I don't remember doing it." So he thinks something's up with his holomatrix, and everybody's been evasive with him. And there we go. And the upshot of it is he had to make a decision, which is, I don't know why it affects him. So because he's a doctor, so he knows all about triage, which is, basically who's going to live and who's going to die. I think because of that, I think he says in the episode, I'm a doctor, I know all about triage. You got to sort the patients out in who's likely to live and who's likely to die. But in this case, what he had to do, he had two people who had equal choice of surviving, equal chance of surviving, and he just had to basically eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which one should he pick? And it sends his holomatrix into a kerfuffle. But so yeah. So like I says, two people get hit, look, and it's to save one and not the other. And it sends him round the bend, basically. So essentially he needs a counsellor, but they haven't got one. And they're trying to fix him, but they can't fix him. Every time it comes up with a choice, it goes into this like feedback loop. And so basically they end up just saying, well, he's just got to work it out for himself like a human has to. So basically he's in the holodeck. I think he's been relieved of duty for the time being, and somebody's staying with him all the time to be like a sounding board. It's supposed to be maybe a bit like a drug addict or whatever. But he's got to work it all out. And And obviously he does, because by the next episode he's fine, but by the end, he's not sorted it out by the end of this episode. Look, he's still getting angry and still getting confused and, and all that. Why can I not make a decision? Why can I do this and not that? And I'm rubbish and all that. But showing that not all problems can be solved easily until we get to the next episode, and then he's fine. It's never mentioned again. But anyway, it's an okay episode, even though it's the Doctor and I'm not a fan of Robert Picardo anymore. But I used to be. But it is a decent episode. Although it is annoying that it's fine by the next episode. But anyway, that's episodic TV for you, isn't it, I suppose? Next. Stars, look. Anyway, what's the next one? What was that one? Next one is Bride of Chaotica. And I thought this would, maybe I caught it on TV or something. Because I got to this, I've been going through the series, and I thought, I should have watched this recently. So maybe it were on TV or something, and I just caught it. This is the one where the photonic life forms get onto the holodeck. There we go. During the Captain Proton game, holo novel, whatever they're called. And they think it's real, and we're going to see him in a minute. Oh, there we go. There they are. Look, this the intersecting. It's not like another dimension sort of thing. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. But photonic life forms come through and basically end up being a war on the holodeck between these photonic life forms and Chaotica, which is a bit of a girly sounding name, if you ask me. Chaotica. It sounds like a woman's name, but whatever. So they called him something else. But there we go. Hang on, where are we? Oh, these are the Chaotica's people, and then other people arrive from the holographic, whatever, photonic life forms, whatever. Let's say they end up at war, and the only way to sort it out is to go in and basically finish the game or the holo novel. But they need somebody to play Arachnia, who Chaotica, is madly in love with. That's why it's called Bride of Chaotica. And obviously Janeway's got to play Arachnia. Oh, there we go. There's the. Oh, there we go. That's one of the photonic life forms that they've appeared as, I don't know, 20s gangsters for some reason. Maybe they've appeared, because it's supposed to be like a 30s serial, isn't it? I suppose. Whatever. Well, how would they know that? I don't know. But anyway. So here she goes. She goes in as Arachnia, queen of the spider people. And she's got to basically seduce Chaotica and get him to... they just rip off, essentially, Flash Gordon here, because they've got to get him to lower his lightning shield, or lightning field, which they have in that Flash Gordon movie, don't they? 1980. But so that they can destroy him. And obviously they sort it all out, and everything's sorted out and okay. And he says, I'll be back, sort of thing. And there we go. The end. And that's it. It's fine. It's a fun episode. They all had a bit of fun making it, I suppose. They dressed up in different clothes and all that stuff, kind of forgettable, But anyway, there we go. Bride of Chaotica. What's next? Is this the one where we find out? Yes, there we go. Tuvok and Paris. This is Gravity, by the way. Crashing a planet, stuck in a pocket of subspace where time moves differently, more slowly. Where they meet a female named Nos, who is played by Tank Girl. I forgot her name. Never mind, it'll come to me. But we also learn that for some reason, I don't know why they decided on this. This is another thing that annoyed me this season. That Tuvok, as a young man, didn't want to be emotional, didn't want to be logical. He wanted to be emotional. So he was like Cyborg. He wanted to embrace his emotions because he'd fallen in love with some woman or some girl that were an alien. No, not from Vulcan. So his parents sent him off to a Vulcan master, and but this episode is shows him occasionally. I don't even know why, but because Nos, played by Tank Girl, kind of falls in love with him, but he keeps rebuffing her, saying, "I am logical," and so bugger off. And it keeps flashing back to him getting in control of his emotions, not quite doing the Collie now, where they get rid of all emotions, but that sort of stuff, and he ends up being logical by the end of it. But anyway, they've crashed on this planet that's kind of through sort of a wormhole, I suppose you could say. It's like a subspace tear or whatever, and time moves differently. So that they're there for, I think they're there for months, but only like a few days pass outside for Voyager, so they're not missing that long, but they're there for ages. Similar, I suppose, to that, is it Blink of an Eye episode where they went to that planet where time moved more quickly on that planet, so that Voyager was stuck in its upper atmosphere. Remember that? It's a bit like that. And they went from like cavemen to building warp ships and stuff in like that amount of time. But anyway, Doctor beamed down for like 10 seconds and we're there for a year and a half or something. Anyway, so they've crashed and they come across, there she is, there's Tank Girl. She's got to remember a bloody name. It's got a T in it. I don't know. I'll look on the things. It'll be bothering me. I will look. Open link in new tab. What's her name? Laurie Petty. So I was thinking Tori. That's why I said it's got a T in it. It does. It's got 2 T's in it, but in Petty. Laurie Petty. As I said, she played Tank Girl, which I've seen once. Anyway, so they end up befriending her. There's other aliens there that basically it's every man for himself. It's a bit like, the Expanse, not the Expanse, the Delphic Expanse, that's what I'm trying to say, in Enterprise. It's everybody's there for themselves. But they befriend Nos. But also the universal translators aren't working. So she has to learn English. They don't learn her language. She has to learn English. But anyway. And she ends up falling in love with Tuvok because they're there for ages. He's wanting to get back, with B'Elanna, obviously. His Ensign Paris. He gets the Doctor's mobile emitter working again. So at least they have the Doctor as well. Anyway, on Voyager, they sort it out. There goes another flashback showing him, I don't want to be logical. You've got to be. Okay. Right, anyway, so come across these other aliens, and they're about to collapse because it's been a problem for a while now. As ships are getting, it's like a whirlpool. Ships are getting dragged into it, so they're going to fix it. They're going to collapse it so no other ships get stuck in it. They said, "Hang on, we've got a ship, we've got a crew through there. We're going to try and save them." So anyway. And obviously they end up saving the day, and they beam them out just in time. Here we go, and all that, and they get back with Nos, and everything's cool. And then we go. They say goodbye, and Laurie Petty's really lovely, isn't she? Really, I don't know, she's very statuesque. And there we go. He does a little mind meld to show that he does have feelings for her, but he can't show them because he's not allowed. So, but now she does know. Now she does know. It's a bit like when Picard mind melded with Spock. So he showed that, showed Spock that his father Sarek did love him, and that's kind of like that for these two, I suppose. Anyway, so there we go. An okay episode. And then we see that Tuvok's all logical now, and he says, "Okie dokie, I'm logical now. Thank you for helping me, Grandmaster, whatever the hell you are. I'll head back out into the Vulcan desert and probably get eaten by a wild sailor or something." But anyway, so there we go. An okay episode, Gravity. An okay episode. Enhanced by the appearance of Laurie Petty, in my opinion. Right, next up. Oh, look, sparky stuff. What's this one? Bliss. All right, yes. Another decent one. Kind of a bit of a horror episode, a little bit, sort of. I will read the description and Wikipedia. A large organism telepathically deceives the Voyager crew into flying into its digestive chamber. The guest star, and this is W. Morgan Shepherd, who is Mark Shepherd's dad. He's been in loads of Star Trek. He's been in Babylon 5, been in loads of stuff. Very distinctive voice. But anyway, we're seeing him here. This is him. He's in that ship. And there he is. Flying into there it is. There's the entity. Look, it's got a big mouth with teeth. It's like one of them space slugs off Empire Strikes Back. But in, I don't know, nebula form. It's even got eyes, look. But yeah, it lures you in. It tells you what you want to hear. That's why the episode's called Bliss. So you fly into it to get digested. So there we go. But it doesn't work for, can't remember who. Is it 7 of 9? I've forgotten. But there's only, I think one of the crew can see through the deception. It's probably 7 of 9. And all the other crew are thinking they've got a message from Starfleet saying that there's a wormhole. Is it Naomi as well? See, Windgrace is paying attention while he's doing his video, probably. All the other crew have got they think they've got a message from Starfleet, and they're saying that there's a wormhole just ahead, which is the creature, but they think it's a wormhole that's going to take them back to the Alpha Quadrant. Of course, neither of them want to go to Earth. That's it, isn't it? Yes. Or they don't have really any, attachment to Earth as yet, do they? Yeah. So they're trying to basically convince the crew that it is a ruse. And look, even Tuvok. Look, it shows him his missus. Anyway, so there we go. Nowadays, I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything of it, but it would be a mixed race couple these days, wouldn't it? It would, because that's all the show on TV nowadays. But anyway, they come across W. Morgan Shepherd, and he says he's been hunting this creature, for 20 years or whatever, because it killed all his family and everybody. And anyway, so obviously they sort it out, and I can't remember what they do with it. I think they just escape. They just escape from it, don't they? That's it. The Voyager does fly into it. They're thinking it's a wormhole. As they're flying in, they're thinking, "Oh, look, we're going through this wormhole." But obviously they're not. But they do get out anyway eventually. And hang on, where are we? Here we are. Where is it? They do escape. They think they've escaped once, but it's just showing them that it's lying to them. Bit like, in TNG. I forgot what they call it now. That one where they're in like that area and it's an experiment. They call it. I forgot what they call the episode, and the alien scientist that's watching them. Bit like that. But anyway, they do eventually escape, and he goes back to clash horns with it again, because they don't kill it, but they just escape from it. And then she says, I want to learn about Earth now. And there it is. And but then it shows he's heading back in, because he's like Ahab. He's got to go and get his whale. So there we go. An okay episode. It's not bad. Not a bad episode. Is that one? I forgot what it's called again. Bliss. There we go, Bliss. Right. Have we got a two-parter next? I think we have. Yes, we have. We've got a two-parter next. Dark Frontier. Oh, God. How are we doing? What episode are we up to? God, we're only about halfway. Jesus. Oh, dear. Right, this is a Borg episode. Oh, wow, we see that Voyager, for some reason, has become really good at killing Borg, blowing up Borg, whatever this ship is. I forgot they tell us what sort of ship it is, but I can't remember what. The beam photon torpedoes aboard and all that stuff. They're getting Borg parts for whatever reason. But then Seven starts getting messages from somewhere, from the Borg Queen. And she's also reading her parents' logs, from the Raven. That's young Seven, Annika Hansen. And it's showing that they were following a Borg cube really closely for a long time. I don't know how they knew about the Borg, by the way, because I thought the Borg were first known about when, in Q Who, when Q flung the Enterprise into the path of that Borg cube. Nobody ever seemed to know about them until before then. But I suppose, I don't know, because we'd seen there were Elorian refugees in the late 22nd century, haven't we? 23rd century. The late 23rd century, there were Elorian refugees. So I suppose they may have said, we're running away from the Borg. And, they are cybernetic horrors. And maybe that's how they got the information. I don't know. It doesn't really tell us. But anyway, so we're seeing that. We're seeing reading those things. Anyway, she starts getting messages. And they've got to go. I can't remember what they're wanting to get. Why they're wanting this stuff from these Borg cubes. Windgrace will probably tell me. But to go into this Borg ship, and basically, Seven wants to stay. She says, "I'm going to stay," so she does. And I think it's a sphere. The infiltrate. So she stays there. Says, "I don't want to be with you anymore. I am Borg." So they leave her behind. Windgrace says, "They've said that the Borg were known a bit, but not really by the public. It was hidden info in Section 31. But that's all beta canon, yeah. It's never really been, explained on screen, has it really? Left it up to us to make our own minds up, I suppose. I mean, because we know the Borg were encountered all the way back, in Enterprise, weren't they? In my favourite episode, but in Regeneration. But anyway, but they didn't know they were the Borg then, did they? Anyway, so she ends up with the Borg Queen, but it's not Alice Krieger, it's Susanna Thompson. I think it's Susanna Thompson, isn't it? Who's playing the Borg Queen, and really, really well. So she wants 7 of 9 there, to help them invade Earth and defeat humans, because humans seem to have, because even though they're rubbish, humans, we seem to have a high resistance quotient. But so anyway, anywho, and she's they're gonna assimilate another world, and she tries to save some people, and it all kind of, well, no, some people do get away, but anyway. We see her dad. I don't see her mother, but they show her dad, who is now assimilated as well. We're going to show him. It's the 2-part. I'm going to say we're like an hour and a half in to the episode. Obviously, Janeway goes for her crooks. They don't leave anybody behind, and obviously thought something were up. And so Janeway goes and saves her, and they get her out and all that, and foil the Borg Queen's plans, and they escape to live another day. There we go. And now 7 of 9 wants to stay on Voyager now, because she actually left because she wanted to save them, basically. That's why she left. So there we go. It's all right, It shouldn't have been a 2-parter, to be completely honest. But, It's okay. It's okay. Maybe they had to have a two-parter in the mid-season. Because this is kind of the middle of the season, so maybe there were a break. Maybe they thought, right, we'll have a two-parter. Maybe there's a break. I don't know. Does it say when they aired? No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. February 17th, 1999. Did they both air on the same night? Because it says, because that's episodes 109 and 110. It's two-parter, as I said. But then a week after were episode 11. So they must have aired them as one episode. That's weird. That's weird. Anyway, never mind. Right, next episode. As I say, it's okay, but not one of the best two-parters. But anyway, but we got to see the Borg Queen, which were cool. Right, it is this one, The Disease. Oh, this is the one that we're on about with Harry. Hang on, where are we? Justin says, sometimes I feel Voyager kind of ruined the Borg. They did a bit. Like they did with Species 8472 and the Hirogen as well. But they did some good with them. Yes, some good Borg episodes. But they did, like as they always did, especially in Voyager, they kind of diluted the baddies, didn't they? Quite a lot. They did it with the Borg and Species 8472 and the Hirogen. I suppose with the K's on as well. But we just moved out of their space, didn't we? Wingrace says a couple of the two-part episodes were feature-length movies. Yes, that one was. Well, I'm sure it's in two parts on Amazon. Not what's on Paramount Plus. But anyway, oh yes, only split into two episodes for syndication. There we go. So they must have aired it as a movie originally. Anyway, this is the one I said where Harry Kim breaks the rules because he falls in love with Shawnak from Stargate SG-1, the actress that plays the woman. Teal'c's one of Teal'c's love. Don't know about his wife. What's happened to Teal'c's wife, by the way? Anyway, never mind. You're in love with, I think it's Shawnak, who were killed by Tanith in Stargate SG-1. But anyway, she's in this. Right, where were we? And Harry falls in love with her, but it's all against the rules, and they're not supposed to be in love. Look, they're at it, look. And they're not supposed to be doing it because there's no fraternizing allowed, because the leader and all that is very poor-faced and doesn't like, aliens. His wife died, did she? Oh, I don't remember. I know his son's knocking about somewhere, isn't he? I'm sure he is. I can't remember what happened to his missus. Anyway. I don't remember some of the episodes. We had 2 episodes, special events, but on the same night. Right, okie dokie. Anywho, where were we? Ooh. Yeah, so they don't like, fraternizing with aliens, but Voyager's come along, and it turns out they're on a generational ship. It's a big, long ship, and Voyager's docked with them because they've been having problems, and Voyager's offered to help. So that's what they're doing. And but they're not supposed to fraternize with each other. But obviously Harry is. There she is, look. And who wouldn't fraternize with her, for God's sake? Died in a refugee camp in Redemption. See, I don't remember that. I'm going to have to look that up now. So just talk amongst yourselves. Oh dear. Drayak. All right, I'm not up to that yet. I'm only on season. I'm on season 5. I'm on season 5 of Voyager. I'm on season 5 of SG-1. Obviously, I've seen it before, but I can't bloody remember. You know what I'm like. But she hadn't died yet. So she hadn't died when Teal'c was knocking about with Shawnak. I think it's Shawnak, isn't it? It's her that claimed she'd convinced her symbiote, her junior, that she was incubating, to be good. And it turns out it was a ruse because the symbiote was Tanith, wasn't it? And it was a ruse. And Tanith is a proper baddie. And killed her. And Teal'c were angry about it because he were in love with her because she's well fit, and she's in this as well. And Harry Can't keep his hands off her either. But anyway, so there we go. But he gets rumbled in the end, and it all causes problems. Look, he catches a disease or something. That's what it's called, the disease. I think the disease is love. I think that's what the double meaning. But he just catch a disease off her. Nothing like that. Not an STD or whatever they call them these days. TOYG likes pausing on the ladies. Bow chicka wow. Well, why not? Why not? So yes, he caught a disease. Not a bad disease, but because they're not supposed to, do that. So anyway, but it's nothing, bad. But yeah, I think the disease is love in this, and but he can't keep away from it. He says, "I'm ordered not to see you again," but they can't help themselves, and it nearly causes big problems. But there we go. They still can't help themselves. Look, and all that. But anyway, but it turns out she's in there's like a resistance among these aliens, and they don't like the way that they're told, to live their lives, and some of them want to leave, and they want to. The generational ship is like modular, and some of them want to detach and go off and do their own thing, and so that's, and so, well, you're not allowed to. So, well, we want to. So is it, coming across Voyager that stimulated this rebellion? Who knows? But anyway, so they end up deciding, yes, okay, we'll do that. And some of them leave and some of them stay and all that stuff. But Voyager obviously had an impact on this society. Harry's fed up. Why didn't he ask her? Because they have this scene. There we go, where he says goodbye to her. Says the captain's. There they are. The captain's, allowed me to come and say goodbye to you. And not once does he say, why don't you come with me? Or she doesn't say, why don't you come with us? They never ask. They just decide to part ways, even though they're madly in love with each other. Well, he's madly in love with her. Don't know if she's the same with him. I suppose she's. But yeah, they never says, I mean, she'd have been I think she'd have been a good addition to the crew. Another alien coming on board. Because she's, she's like an engineer or something. She's super brainy, and he never asks her. So they could have had another character to play with, couldn't they? And a love interest for Harry. But but no. So he's sulking now because he's. I don't want to say what my mate says. I've got a mate that's really, or he used to be really foul-mouthed, but he had these hilarious phrases, so I won't say it. He's moping about his love. And she's, all right, and it also, she reprimands him earlier on in the episode. She reprimands him. He's got a formal reprimand on his record. For some reason, that's how they pronounce it. It's not record, but anyway, whatever. But she don't demote him. She don't demote him to crewman or whatever. He's still an ensign. And she don't confine him to the brig. But maybe that's why he doesn't get promoted again for the rest of the series. Because of this reprimand. I don't know. Justy says, everyone loves Harry Kim. Never was a fan, really. I said, I liked Harry Kim, and I think you were hard done by. I think most people think you were hard done by. But a bit annoying sometimes, but anyway. Josh Temple says, I don't love Harry, but he did get shafted on promotions. Yes, he did. Justice for Harry. Anyway, but so there we go. So he's moping and getting over it, but he'll be fine. He's fine by the next episode. As I said, everything reset. It's like The Simpsons, isn't it? Everything's reset by the next episode. But anyway, a decent episode. It's okay. It's okay. I'd probably skip it though, to be honest. Then this is the episode. This is the episode. I forgot what they call it. Course Oblivion. Really sad episode. It is. It is really sad. We're on the Enterprise. We're on Voyager, and look, somebody's getting married, and it turns out it's Tom and B'Elanna. Here they come. There they are, in dress uniform, and we can see. Hang on, I just missed it. Let's go back again. There we go. We can see he's a lieutenant again. He's got Lieutenant Pips, albeit junior grade. Well, he always junior grade. Anyway, whatever. So he's not an ensign anymore. So he's got a promotion again somehow, and he's getting married to B'Elanna, and everything's cool and lovely. And then the camera, they say the vows and all that stuff, blah blah blah, and then everybody's celebrating. I think it's in slow motion. Yes, it is, because the camera pans down onto the floor and it goes all funky. There we go, like that. It was all funky. And I was thinking, is it like in, I forgot the name of that episode. No, I can't remember what they call it. It was an episode where Voyager were going through a region of space and everything was going all funky like that. But it's not that, it's something else. Just it says, Tom and B'Elanna, the most underrated characters. They made a good couple, didn't they? A surprise couple. But yeah, I like Tom and B'Elanna as a couple. But there we go. It's all look, the Voyager's all going all weird. And anyway, it turns out Voyager's breaking apart, essentially. It's turning into some sort of goo. Just emphasis. Tom gets demoted and re-promoted, but Harry stays a lonely Indian in the tribe of chiefs. Yes, he does. Buddy jailbird Tom gets more promotions than, by the book Harry. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'll say it again. I've said it loads of times. I don't understand how an ensign can be the head of operations on a starship. Straight out of the academy. Don't get it. What happened then? There we go. Nearly banned Justin again then. Clicking on the wrong thing. Is this clone episode or clone-like? Sort of, yes. Sort of. Yes, Voyager starts basically turning into goo. They don't know what's going on. Then it starts happening to people. People start getting ill, and they're going to start to turn into goo themselves. And it turns out the upshot of this episode is it's not the Voyager crew, and it's not Voyager. I don't know where Voyager's come from, by the way. It's the I forgot what they call them. The mimetic life forms from the Demon Planet. Remember when they went to that Demon Planet a couple of seasons earlier? Because they were looking for dilithium or something, weren't they? And but they came across this life form that it wasn't sentient until it encountered the Voyager crew, and yes, the silver blood. Yes, it's that. Yes, thank you, Josh Temple. Yes, it turns out it's them, and by the end of that episode, they decided to mimic all of Voyager's crew, and it ended just with Voyager taking off and just leaving all these people in Starfleet uniforms on that planet. And it turns out they decided they wanted to leave and explore and return to Earth because they forgot that they were aliens and they thought they were the Voyager crew, and they don't know where the Voyager came from. So they must have got some more of this life form, must have turned itself into Voyager. I don't really know. Well, obviously it did because it's breaking apart. But where did they get software from? Is it fair enough? Ooh, see, even Neelix doesn't know. You can mimic DNA or whatever, or what something looks like, structure or something. But how can you mimic software? I don't know. But anyway, just he says it was an very interesting episode, but man, it was sad. It is very sad. But anyway, so it's all going wrong. People are dying. They're losing the crew. They're all getting worse. The Voyager's getting worse. And there they go. They're all going, look. So Janeway still wants to head for Earth. Chakotay saying we should turn back and head to the demon planet, but it's obviously miles behind them. By the way, they've got a super duper warp drive. Forgot to mention that. And they've actually overtaken the actual Voyager, and now they're headed back. Because by the end, they decide to head back to the demon planet. So they're on the way back. And there you go. Look, they're all melting. It's the incredible melting people. And they're losing all the crew, and there's not many of them left. And so they send out a distress signal, and just as everything starts going wrong, and then we go to real Voyager, and she says, "How long before we, intercept the ship from that distress signal?" And there's a couple of minutes, and but by the time they get there, there's nothing left. Is it going to show it? Oh, for Pete's sake! There we go. That's all that's left of them. Just some globs of silver blood, essentially, just floating through space. And then they don't know whether it was Voyager. They've just come across themselves, and it just they are none the wiser. But thankfully we are. But it's episodes like this though, where I think I always used to think of Star Trek episodes being, from the logs of Starfleet, as though that, we're seeing an episode as like an official version of events from the Starfleet logs. Obviously, we can't for this, can we? Because they don't know, do they, on the Voyager? But anyway, never mind. And it is really, really sad. It is, actually, filled up a little bit watching this one, but it's a really good episode. And there's nothing left of them. They are gone, forgotten. Nobody knew about them. I suppose they came across other races. I suppose that our Voyager did. They came across other people and affected them, and they thought so. There's like been two Voyagers knocking about for a couple of years, haven't there? Anyway, yeah, great episode though. Great episode. Course Oblivion. A very original series episode title, isn't it? But anyway, there we go. What's next? Oh, is this the one with yes, The Fight? I didn't like this episode. Didn't like this one. But anyway, in this one, pardon me, Chakotay, who's got different hair now. Some aliens are in contact with him. I think because of his, when he goes into like his meditations and stuff, talks with spirit animals and all that, Kuchamaya and all that stuff. I think they've contacted him through that or whatever. And they're in his head, and they've got to work through it to save Voyager or something. It's rubbish. I don't like this episode. There you go. There we see him. Look. There he is in his head, and it keeps going back to a boxing match in his mind. So that's The Fight. He's got to win to save Voyager or whatever. I think they're stuck or something, or mired in some, I don't know, some paraphernalia. Does it show it there? There we go. There, and yeah, whatever. And he's got to get in touch with these aliens and say, let us escape, and all that stuff. And they do, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's Boothby's in it again, by the way. Because Boothby, there he is, not only the groundskeeper, he also apparently taught Tuvok how to box. Not Tuvok, Chakotay how to box. Anyway. Yeah, I didn't like that episode. Obviously, I suppose, it's all about facing your demons and stuff like that, or controlling the voices in your head, even if they're not your own. I don't know. Whatever. I'm trying to be clever, aren't I? I just didn't like it. Next. Here we go. Right, what's this one? Oh, another good one. Think Tank. Sorry, I thought somebody was behind me then. Genuinely. I just saw something out the corner of my eye. Voyager's being chased by the Hazari when a think tank offers assistance. Guest stars Jason Alexander. Winger says, we've seen fake Boothby more than the real one. Yes, we have. Where were we? Yeah, so, right, Think Tank. I like this episode. This is another good one. See, we see this blue fella. It was a lovely shade of blue, isn't it? A very nice shade of blue is that. And we see, there's some jellyfish there, whatever. This is the Think Tank ship. And here comes Jason Alexander. There he is. I'm sure he's famous for something. I don't know what. The name does ring a bell. I've probably seen him in other things, but I can't think what. I'll look him up just to put my mind at ease. What's he done? Seinfeld he were in, which I've never seen. I've never watched Seinfeld. And I know it has been on over here, but I've never watched it ever. Never seen a single episode. Pretty Woman, Coneheads. Watched that recently. All right, fair enough. So he's been around, hasn't he? He's been around. Right. I'm blue. Is that a song? Anyway, so we learn that that's it. This think tank solves problems for people, and they've solved the problem for this chap's people. Something happened. They were mining something or whatever. The planet was breaking apart because of whatever, I don't know. And they sorted it out, and now they weren't paying. You know, the obviously they don't do it for nothing. They weren't paying, and he tries to fob them off. Says, "Well, we can't give you what you wanted, but we can give you this instead." Said, "No, you're lying. You know, you can pay us. Do it, or we'll take back what we've done, and your planet will disintegrate, or whatever." Jason does a great Captain Kirk impression. Cool. Wish I could do any impressions. Anyway, so there we go. So we learn, that's where we see that they're not entirely nice. Anyway, they've got, where is it? There we go. This thing is going through the crew. It's a game. It's like a Rubik's Cube where they've got to, solve it. And nobody can, but 7 of 9 says she can. But anyway, they're being chased and stuff by the Hazari. It seems there's a bounty's being put out on Voyager. So, and there's nowhere for them to go, because everywhere they decide to go, the Hazari are there. And so anyway, he arrives on Voyager as like a super duper not just a regular hologram, a super duper hologram. You do a great Palpatine. So he's arrived in hologram form-ish, isomorphic projection. They like using the word ISO, don't they, for things, isotons and gigaquads and just make stuff up, don't they? Anyway, he's around. He said, "We can solve your problem for you and all that, because I'm part of a group of clever people." He says, "Oh, a think tank." And, "Oh, yes, I like that." Whatever. So they go on board their ship, which has some kind of cloaking device, and we see that there's him and there's that thing. They're all super clever, aliens that have come together. There's a jellyfish, and there's an artificial life form, and there's him who just clicks. They don't have they have a universal translator, but it's not like the Voyager's one. It works through the comm badges or whatever. I forgot what I was saying now. It's the thing it's like a psychic connection, so they can all understand each other psychically, which will be their undoing later on. There's also another member of the crew. I've missed them. It's like I was looking, and is it going to show us? Are they looking at it now? I don't know. Come on, show us it. Anyway, it's like an aquatic life form, which I thought, I wonder if it's a Zindi aquatic or whatever they call them. And it's not showing us, never mind. But anyway, they said, right, we can solve your Hazari problem, if that's what they're called, I've forgotten. But their payment. They want 7 of 9 as payment, which obviously, we're not going to do. So anyway, so they basically bluff them, and they outwit the think tank, and 7 of 9. Oh, and they contact the Hazari because the work out that it's all been like a ruse, and the Hazari are being used as well. To capture Voyager. They wanted 7 of 9 from the start. Obviously, they'd heard about them, and so they used the Hazari with the bounty and all that to capture Voyager. So they use the Hazari as well, because the Hazari are very proud, and they don't like that they've been used. So they help Voyager, and here we go. So they end up. The Hazari is attacking Voyager and all that stuff, and but they're not really, but they're pretending to attack Voyager, and they make it so that 7 of 9 goes over to their ship, to the think tank ship, as a way to stop the attack, and but it's as I said, it's all a trick, and she's really gone there to turn off the psychic universal translator, so they can't talk to each other, and that that is their undoing, and it ends with Voyager basically just buggering off, and the Hazari shooting at the think tank ship. Voyager just sods off, and that's how the episode ends. But yeah, a good episode. I did enjoy it. I do enjoy that one. Because we learned that the think tank cured the Vidian phage. So the Vidians are cured now, according to this episode. And because he says you should look at them now, you won't recognise them. I presume they look like they used to before. A handsome race. So that's nice. That's nice. So they've got about, haven't they, in the Delta Quadrant, because the Vidians are way back, weren't they? Back when the K's on space and all that, with the Vidians. Because they've got a long way now of Voyager, haven't they? I think they've travelled something like 40,000 light years. So they're over halfway home now. Anyway. Right, so next. Yes, that's a good one, this think tank. What's next? That's a Malon ship, isn't it? Is this the one? Yes, Juggernaut is this one. Crew responds to a distress call from Malon escape pods contaminated with radiation. Brian Fuller wrote this one. Just noticed that. Yeah, so we're on the Malon ship. This is where we're seeing that they're not all bad, the Malon. They do have families and stuff. So he's built a spaceship for one of his crewmates' sons. And it turns out, apparently, the Malon homeworld is a bit of a paradise. I don't think we ever see it. I don't think we do anyway. But so what they do, the Malon, because as I said, they've got all this this toxic waste that they've got to get rid of. So what a lot of them do is they've got other jobs. Like one of them, it says, is a sculptor, but so for half the year or whatever, is getting rid of this toxic waste. It's like a public service sort of thing. I don't know if they're forced to do it or what. I don't know. I think they might be. I think it might be like, national service or something like that. But yeah, it's something they're willing to do to preserve their planet. And they know it'll shorten their lives because of all the radiation, theta radiation, or as I'd call it, theta. But anyway, that's what they do. But anyway, something goes wrong with their ship, and they have to abandon ship, and something's gone wrong. And they talk about there's a monster that lives in the radiated part. But anyway. Oh, yes. Belan has been getting angry a lot. As usual. And Tuvok's going to try and help her control her emotions. And it's under orders from Chakotay. It's basically forced into it. But whatever. So they answer the get distress call, from the mail on ship, and they're finding the escape pod with the captain in it, and some others as well. And it looks familiar, by the way. Who is he? Who is it? It looks really familiar. Where are we? Juggernaut. Ron Canada. I think that's who it is, isn't it? That is Ron Canada. Yes, it is. Yes. He's been in loads of stuff, and I can't think what, but I've seen him in loads of stuff. Yes, Ron Canada. Anywho, where were we? They're going to go back and try and fix the ship, basically. But there's loads of radiation, but they can be inoculated, so they can be on the ship for a few hours. Has it been in DS9? No, it does look familiar, but I can't place him. Can't place him. Anyway. And Neelix is going with them because he had a similar, in his past life, he worked on the ship that had a theta radiation leak or whatever. So now he's making himself a Talaxian theta radiation soup, which will help him or something. Anyway. Right, so off they go. Man, they keep talking about this monster that's lurking about. And we do see it, but it turns out obviously it's not a monster. But so they're crawling about in the dirty ship and all that stuff. And she gets all mucky by the end of it. There's Belana, and she's got to keep her temper in check in this episode. She's basically wanting to beat people up all the time, and she does end up beating somebody up. So I presume she gets it out of her system. The lawyer Klingon in the wharf. Shot as if, yes. The one where they were on the Defiant and he destroyed a civilian ship or whatever, and it turned out, it was fine by the end. But yes, he played the Klingon lawyer, didn't he? Yes, thank you. I'm sure I've seen him in something else as not an alien, and I can't think what. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to look it up now. Has it been in Babylon 5? Let's have a look. Television, Star Trek Next Generation in the Masterpiece Society. Babylon 5, Captain Ellis Pierce, A Voice in the Wilderness, Part 2. So, yes, I've seen him in that. And yes, he played Chapok in Rules of Engagement. And he's in this. What else? He's been in the X-Files as well. I'm just looking through stuff that I might have seen. Stargate SG-1. Don't say what episode, but it was in Stargate SG-1. As Quartus. It must have been a late episode, 2007. Anyway. The Strain. That's a series I started watching and stopped. In the Orville as well. Played Admiral Tucker in the Orville. So, yeah, he's been around, hasn't he? Good old Ron Canada. Is he from Canada? Is he? Let's have a look. No, he's from New York. He's not from Canada. Despite his name. Anyway. Where were we? The one where they get to a museum. I can't remember. The one, is that the one where they're like, I think the terrorists or something, they held old people hostage? Or was that an Atlantis one? I can't remember. Yes, it must be a late one. Get trapped inside and Vala arms a bomb. All right, okay. So it's obviously season 9 or 10 then, isn't it? Where were we? All right, so they've got to fix this ship, but they've got to go down into the irradiated part, and they find out there is a monster there. It does have a name, Vihari or something. I can't remember. But it turns out it's not a monster. It's a crewman that's mutated and decided just to stay down there for some reason. Don't really know, and it's angry. But look, she's getting well mucky, look. Ooh, imagine getting in the sonic shower at the end. But anyway, but she's just there on board, and she's going to have a fight with that creature now. Any minute now. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, for God's sake. There it is. It's just one of them. It's just a Malon that's gone a bit blobby. And he's angry and he wants to take it out on everybody. So does this mean, because they've been on other ships, they say it's a legend on different Malon ships. So does this happen on every ship? There's at least one crew member that's down, in the bilge or wherever, that's mutated. I don't know. It doesn't really explain it. But she beats it up with a big pipe and escapes. Does it blow up? Does the ship blow up? I can't remember. Yes, it does. They send it into the sun, don't they? I think. Is that what they're doing here? Yes, into that blue star. They're sending it into there. And everything will be fine. Apart from that poor fella, he was just angry that he'd been irradiated, but now he's dead. And everybody else is okay. She's all mucky, look. And she's going to go get in the sonic shower. Are you ready, lad? Justin says Belana's so hot. Yeah, she is. She's not 7 of 9, but I actually think she looks better as Belana than she does. That episode where we saw her as a human, that one with the Vidians, faces, and the splitter into a Klingon and a human. And I always thought, I think she looks more attractive as that, as a half Klingon than as just a human. But that's just me. I'm a weirdo. Anyway, here she goes. She's getting it sonic shower look. Hey, look, it's twice this season we've seen her go in it hot sonic shower look. And we actually see it working. I think, is this the only time we see a sonic shower working? Look, hey, it's removing the dirt in like dust form. Oh dear. Man, should have a bath. Because we know they've got a bath. Because in the first episode, in Caretaker, we saw Neelix in the bath, didn't we, on Voyager? Because it couldn't understand how they'd waste water in such a way. So I'd rather have a bath than a sonic shower. Or just a regular shower. Whatever. But anyway, that's an okay episode. And it shows that the Malon really aren't all bad, I suppose. They are just regular people, after all. Next. Now then. Someone to watch over me. 7 of 9 explores dating with some help from the doctor. Is this the one? I don't know. I can't remember. Yes, I think it is. This is the one where that ambassador comes on board from that. Supposed to be an uptight alien race. And he ends up going a bit crazy. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that Babylon 5 episode where Susan Ivanova had to look after that ambassador. And that was a bit weird. Justin says, everyone loves 7, but always add a percent for the Klingon females. Like I said, Lursa and Batar. Oh, by gum. And who are Quark's wife? I forgot her name. She was all right, I know. But yes. A good domineering Klingon woman to take control. Anywho, a name popped in my head then that married Quark. It popped in my head again. Rilke, something like that. Grilke, that's it. I knew, because he knows everything that's been Grace. Grilke, that's it, yes. Anyway, right, so here we go. She's watching, she's want to know about, human romances and stuff and relationships. So that's what she's doing there. Right, so this Janeway's leaving the ship to go do ambassadorial things on the planet, and Neelix, as Voyager's ambassador, has got to look after this other chap. Where is he? Him. Oh, peace. Where's he gone? him. Neelix has got to look after him. And that's it. They're uptight, and apparently they don't like spicy food, or they want everything bland, and they're all a bit rubbish. I'm sure we've had an episode like this before, a similar one, in like TNG or something. I'm sure we have. But anyway, so turns out he wants to experience everything. The Doctor, this is the one that we learned that the Doctor's essentially fallen in love with 7 of 9. I've never understood exactly how the Doctor works. I don't know how his program works. I mean, how can he have emotions? He's a computer program. But anyway, I don't know. Justin says, Klingon female, you can try and kill each other, then make sweet, sweet love. Yes. Just like Dax and Waff. After a night of passion, they were in the infirmary, weren't they, or whatever it's called on Deep Space Nine. Yes, TNG did it. I thought it's in a similar thing, one where they trapped Picard in that castle. Can't remember. The only castle one I can think of is Cupid. Has there been another one? There must have been. Right, where were we? So he's trying to teach her all about, romance and meeting people. He takes her to Sandrine's on the holodeck. There we go, and introduces her to some holographic character. Doesn't go down well. All right, and he has a bet with Tom Paris. He has a bet that because there's going to be a big what they call it, not a party, a big get together, I suppose, for the ambassador that's on board. They're going to have a big what's the word? Thingamabob. For it. So he says, Tom says, I bet she doesn't have a date by the time that that happens. And he says, and the Doctor says, I'll take that bet. I bet she does, and all that stuff. So they're having a bet. So anyway, meanwhile, where is he? He's enjoying all food and stuff and all that. He's having a really good time eating all this grub. The alien transforms into a woman and tries to trick Picard into doing her. I genuinely don't remember this episode. Obviously, I've seen it, but can't remember it. You'll know when you get to my age. I tell you, sometimes it's like watching stuff. It's like seeing it for the first time. Oh, for God's sake! Anyway, so he's having fun, eating stuff and drinking and everything. He gets plastered later on. But anyway, the Doctor falls in love with 7 of 9. Blah blah blah. He tries to get her off with an actual crewman, not a holographic one. And it doesn't go well. So there we go. It's the Doctor falling in love with her. He's having a whale of a time with some lovely alien women. But I like them butterfly dancers off Enterprise. Well, hey. But anyway, the upshot of it is for this function. That's the word I was looking for. A function for this thing. The Doctor is 7's date. He's kale-eyed. He's this ambassador fella. He's all over the place, and he's going to try and start a fight in a bit. And then he just collapses. Neelix is like, "Oh God, I'm a rubbish ambassador," and it sobers him up just in time. Obviously, the Doctor's in love with her, but she doesn't reciprocate and all that. So he's whatever. And he's saying, "Why don't you tell her that you love her?" "Oh, well, I can't, because I'm a whatever." Anyway, he gives her some flowers. Have we done this yet? Hang on. Right, sobers him up just in time to go back to his home world. And they said, did he behave himself? Oh, yes, he was, he was well behaved. And then he says, him in charge, the alien in charge, says, well, you can try things, it's an ambassador's got to try things out, but, in moderation, of course. So he could have had all this stuff, but he went overboard, didn't he? bit like me at the first works Christmas party when I was about, I don't know, 16 or 17. I was home in bed by 7:30. Oh, God, that was embarrassing. I think I pulled what they call a one-arm bandit. Not a one-arm bandit, but, them fruit machine. You put money in and all that, press the buttons and stuff to win money. I think I pulled one of them over. Oh, that drunk. Anyway, that was me. Back when I was young. So anyway, there you go. And then the doctor gives some flowers to 7 of 9, and it's basically fobs him off. He's trying to tell her, I love you, 7 of 9, and says, you are my friend. And then she brings him a gift, and then she's saying, if I decide to, she's decided I don't want to have a romantic relationship with the Voyager crew because they're all crap. But maybe in the future I will change my mind, which she does, doesn't she, in season 7? But and then so I will come back to you for help. And he's like, oh, okay, with his prosthetic face. Look, he's got a real mouth and a prosthetic face. And there's like loads of Botox. Anyway. Justin says, never liked they had the Doctor in love with 7, but then went with the father trope. Yeah, they kind of did, didn't they? But anyway, they should have had him, fawning over her a bit, and rather than, we'll just be friends. I mean, you think this would have caused him, a feedback loop like a few episodes ago, but no, he's fine. She friend zoned him. She didn't she? Anyway, it's a hell of a program, isn't it? This EMH, crikey. But anyway, they say he rose above his programming. Didn't half. It's like my Alexa. It's not listening. Is she? No, she ain't. Just suddenly becoming sentient. But anyway. So there we go. So they're just going to be friends. So now he's going to Sandrine's and playing the piano and singing. Robert, you're not that good of a singer. You're better than me, but, why does he have to keep singing? It does me head in. And look, is that it? Look, singing. I'm not going to play it. So there we go. Someone to watch over me. For some reason, I keep thinking, when I see Someone to Watch Over Me, that episode, I keep thinking it's that one, where they did a similar episode in Enterprise, where they put everybody in stasis. And they did it in Voyager as well, didn't they? Where they were going, I think it was called The Void, wasn't it? Where they were going across the void and she ended up hallucinating or whatever, didn't she? Or whatever. But anyway, stop picking on Robert. I know, it does me head in. Anyway, so yeah, that's that one. Next up, what's next? Voyager flying across screen. What's next? Oh, another one I'm not a fan of. Although, rewatching it, I think we're nearly the end now, aren't we? I think, are we? When did I watch? Did I watch it today or yesterday? It might have been yesterday. Didn't hate it as much as I did before. I'm still not a huge fan of it. But we're on 11:59. This is the one about Shannon O'Donnell, one of Captain Janeway's ancestors who looks exactly like... I wonder if I've got an ancestor that looks exactly like me. Don't know. Probably not. Anyway, it's that one. And when did this one come out, by the way? When are we on? Where are we? Oh, so we're in 1999. I just wondered, because it's set in 2001, is 11:59. Anywho, right, so they're all talking about, their past and their ancestors and stuff like that. And then she starts going on about Shannon O'Donnell, who inspired her to join Starfleet and all that stuff, because she was an explorer, according to her Auntie Mabel or whatever. She gave her all this family history about Shannon O'Donnell, who were one of the earliest female astronauts. I thought, what? I don't think so. But and that she was one of the first women to go to Mars, and she helped build the Millennium Gate, which is probably the only true part of what she told her. But anyway, so we basically, most of the episode is we're in 2001 in a small town where the Millennium Gate is being built, and it's kind of like a shopping mall, but also a habitat. And they're saying it's going to become like a test bed for Martian colonies and stuff like that. And Shannon O'Donnell's in town. Here she is. Looks just like Kate Mulgrew. She crashes a car. She's no money, and apparently she was in the astronaut. She tried to become an astronaut, but she didn't pass the exam. But she's an engineer, and she's down on her luck basically. And she's no money. She's crashed a car. It needs replay. It needs fixing. I mean, and she's in. I can't remember the name of the town. Potter's Grove or something. I can't remember. Something like that. But she ends up coming across. She goes into a bookshop. Anyway, there we are. And she comes across Henry Janeway. We know that name, don't we? And his son. And he's basically the Chinese fella from Gremlins who don't want to sell up. In Gremlins 2 is like him, because the Millennium Gate is wanting to basically build itself on the town centre, and everybody else has sold up to this company that's building it, apart from Henry Janeway. He's the only holdout. Him and his bookstore. Anyway, they help her out, and she even has a job there for a while. I think she's only there a few days, but they help her out, and they have feelings for each other, blah, blah, blah. But, he's holding out, he won't sell, and the other townsfolk don't like him because, he's stopping progress. But anyway, meanwhile on Voyager, they're still going on about, they're actually finding out more about Janeway's past, and actually found out the truth that she wasn't an astronaut, although she nearly was, and all that. But she did do some cool stuff, and she married Henry, and she had loads of kids. They find a photo of her with all her family, and she ends up talking him round. This fella, him, he's the businessman who's behind the Millennium Gate, and he says, you can come and work for me if you talk Henry Janeway round. But it turns out it's not that bad. He'd have given her a job anyway, and he does give her a job anyway. But she does talk him round in the end anyway, because the police have arrived. I think maybe they're just going to bulldoze his shop with him in it. I don't know, but she does talk him round. She says, if you come out and sell your shop, I'll stay with you. And they end up getting married and all that. And Catherine's a bit fed up when she learns the truth about Shannon O'Donnell. But then, for Pete's sake, they show the photo of old Shannon with all the family, and then she's happy. And then it shows them in real life with Kate Mulgrew with her old makeup on. There we go. I didn't used to like that episode, but it's okay. I don't mind it now. Maybe because I'm a bit old and a bit. Justin says I hate this episode. I used to hate it. I don't really mind it now, but it's probably one I still would skip. To be honest, it's not great. I mean, it's just in there. It's a Millennium episode, isn't it? Because it came out in 1999, so they even mentioned Y2K in it. But anyway. Right, next is this Relativity. Next, I think it is. Yes, it is. This is a good one, another good one. Man should have been able to keep his shop. Well, they do say in it that he does get a shop in the Millennium Gate. So, he's not going to lose his shop. It's just going to move it, but into modern premises. Was it young Jack O'Neill? I thought it looked familiar. Let's have a look. Let's go back to 11:59 again before we do this one. Let's have a look. Bradley Pierce. Bradley Pierce. Bum, bum, bum. Where is he? I don't think it is him. Don't think it is him. Not appearing on Wikipedia anyway. I think he'd be too old, to be honest. Maybe he just looks a bit like him. Anyway, whatever. Hang on. Justin's about to go on the soapbox talking about knocking down them lovely old buildings and replacing them with a modern monstrosity and all that stuff. I agree with you. I agree. You should have built the Millennium thing over the town, kept the old buildings and protected them. That's what they should have done. Anyway, right, moving on. We're on to relativity now. We're at Utopia Planitia above Mars. We're seeing starships being built. Look, wow, cool. And look, the starships and that. Is that an Excelsior class? I doubt it. Anyway, see various starships being built. There they are. There's one of them. Look, I can never remember the things. Is that I forgot. Never mind. Steam Runner class. I don't know. I get mixed up with them. Anyway, so there we are, and we're going to see Voyager. There's Voyager. Look, so we're before Voyager launched, and we see a young Janeway. I say young, 5 years younger, with a long-haired wig on, terrible wig, but I suppose it'll do. Is it Akira class? Right, fair enough. I apologise. I'm very old-fashioned at times. Nothing to apologise for. I agree with you. I do honestly agree with you. I hate it when they pull down these lovely old buildings and build a bloody... They've done it in my own town. We used to have this lovely theatre called the Empire Theatre, and all ornate, built in Victorian times, all ornate and gorgeous. Got pulled down, and they built a big, I think it was in the 60s, they built a big modern office block called, Empire House. So, we'll call it the same name, but it's just a terrible thing in the middle of town. Anyway, we're back at Stardate, I don't know, 483 something, whatever. I don't know. Does it say? Where are we? Relativity? I don't know. It says 5-2. We're up to 5. I'm on about the flashback. Never mind. Can't remember. Anyway, she's here. She's just been promoted, I think, to captain. This is her first command, and she's being greeted by Admiral whoever, who keeps asking her questions about science and all that. And there we go, they embrace, and they're having a look round. And it's all cool. And then we come across this young ensign, because they want to check out something in a minute. Because I think they get some weird reading. There we go. And they're going to check it out. And she says, "Excuse me, ensign." And then this ensign, who down there, can you see her? And she gets up. It's 7 of 9 without her Borgie stuff. What's going on? We find out in a bit, because she's been sent back in time. There she is. She's looking for a bomb or a weapon on Voyager. Oh, Joe's there, Joe Carey, who should have been the chief engineer. I genuinely think that, but he wasn't. Who lasts nearly all the way home, doesn't he? But anyway, here he's hitting on this young ensign. But we learn, I don't know if it was before this or after, that he's got a family, hasn't he? Like a wife and kids and stuff. I'm sure that's mentioned. But here he's hitting on 7 of 9. But she don't bother, because he's like saying, "Oh, I'll meet you in the mess hall." But anyway, off she goes. She's looking for this weapon, and she finds it because she can see it, because her ocular implants allow her to see this thing that's out of phase. It's not. Oh, they're Pete's sake. Where is it? There we go. There it is. And it's some futuristic bomb or something. I don't know. But she can see it. But it's out of phase. So she's not in the right time period, we learn. So they've got to find the right, when the bomb was actually planted. Or something. Anyway, so Janeway's sustenance is picking up chronotons and all that stuff. So somebody's faffing with time. Anyway, the beam her out just in time. There we go. Onto the USS Relativity. We're seeing all this snazzy stuff. Pardon me. Have I missed it? Are they going to show it? Going to beam her out. Where is she? There she is. There we go. There, the beamer out. In a nice old-fashioned sort of transport effect. Because obviously they're in 500 years in the future, so 29th century, aren't they? And they're kind of good with the old-fashioned TOS style transporter effect. So it obviously came back into fashion. And she collapses, and I think she's dead. Actually, it says she's dead. So they said we'll have to recruit her again because obviously it's a time ship. It's the time ship Relativity, which looks crap. It looks awful. It does, but never mind. Anyway, so they're going to go back and go wherever and recruit 7 of 9 again, and so that's what they're going to do. Stuff starts happening because of all this time things, and a ping pong ball. Have I missed it? A ping pong ball stops in midair. Where is it? There we go. They're playing ping pong for some reason, all of a sudden, in the mess hall. And it just stops in midair. I don't know if it explains why. I can't remember. It to do with what's going on. Anyway, the recruiter again. Beam her back out to the future or whatever and tell her what she's got to do. So off she goes, and apparently this might be the last time they can. She died before, so but so this is the last time we can recruit you, because they've recruited her 3 times before, and because of the damage to her Borgie stuff, it might kill her. They've already killed her 3 times, haven't they? But anyway. Right, so they go back to when Voyager in the Delta Quadrant being attacked by Kazon. So she goes there. And anyway, the upshot of it is she ends up having to get Janeway to help her. And it turns out that the person that planted the bomb was Captain Braxton. Oh, look, she's talking to herself. Look. Well, Captain Braxton, there he is. Because it turns out, remember, he was the one in, what do they call it now? Future's End, that episode. The one with Ed Begley Jr. That one. I think that's season 2. I think it was season 2 or 3. Can't remember. Anyway, way back then, when he was stuck on Earth for 25 years or whatever. But then he ended up, going back to the future, whatever. Or they changed the timeline, didn't they? They sorted it out, but it affected him, and he ended up in a mental institution or whatever. But then he got back out, became a captain again, but he still wants revenge on Janeway. So anyway, they sort it out and they arrest him and all that stuff. A bit like Minority Report, they arrest him for crimes he hasn't yet committed. But anyway, and all that, and it's all sorted out and blah blah blah. Yeah, fine. It's fine. A good episode. Quite exciting, I must admit. I bet this was an expensive episode, getting towards the end of the season. But yeah, a good one is that one. Relativity. Next. How many episodes have we got to go? Oh, we're nearly done. Only 2 more. This was Warhead. Another decent one. It's the one where Harry Kim, I think, gets to go on an away mission, to lead an away mission. We also learn he does the night shift on the bridge to get like extra points. Still never gets a promotion, does he? But and so it does his A shift or whatever when he's head of ops, and then he does the night shift as well. Doesn't he ever sleep? Anyway, whatever. So he goes on this away mission and all that stuff, and they find this thing. There it is on the planet. They don't know what it is. It's some sort of machine, and it's talking to them in its R2D2 language. So they decide to beam it to Voyager, and so that's what they do. And it turns out it's a bomb or a missile or whatever. It's a warhead with AI. And it goes into the Doctor in a bit because they're going to try and switch it off, but it transfers its consciousness into the Doctor's hollow matrix and takes him over and becomes a baddie. So Robert Picardo can look with squinty eyes. That's how we know he's a baddie, because he squints more. He goes, I'm a baddie. And it takes Harry and I think B'Elanna hostage in sick bay. And Harry's got to talk it out, talk the AI. It's got, I think, does it have a name? I can't remember. Got to talk it out of killing them all, because it's got a mission. It's got to go to this planet because there were a war, God knows how long ago, and it were going to go blow something up. And there were loads of others, apparently, loads of other warheads as well, because loads of those appear. And we learned that there were actually like a stand down command. This fella were going to help him, but end up not helping him, but end up dying because the warhead killed him. Anyway, loads of other warheads appear. It had got a command, by the way, to stand down, saying the war had ended, but the transmission were garbled or whatever, so it didn't really get it. And the clean it up, and it accepts that the war is over and it's not a bomb anymore. But then all these others appear, all these other warheads. You're going to show them. Here we go. All these other, for Pete's sake. You're going to show them now. Beams it into space. For Pete's sake. All these other warheads appear, and they're on a course as well to blow up this planet that's got loads of people on it. But it decides to transfer back into the warhead, and they beam it out into space. There we go. And the other warheads tractor it away, and then it blows. Oh, there they are. Look, at warp, and it blows up and takes them all out with him. Look, they all blow up. Look, and it sacrificed itself to save everybody. Yay! At least it didn't sing when it were in the Doctor's body. But anyway, so everybody's happy and all that stuff. And Harry goes back to the bridge to do the night shift again, and she says, I don't think we ever see her again. I don't know. She calls him Sir, so is she an ensign or like she's a Mackey one, isn't she? I think. Can't really make it out. She says, "Oh, you saved us. You talked it round," and he's very patronising back to her, in my opinion. But anyway, so there we go. Whatever. A good episode, though. A good episode is Warhead. I always get it mixed up with, I forgot the name of it now. The other one where they've got like a warhead, that Cardassian one that somehow ended up in the Delta Quadrant, that B'Elanna reprogrammed for the Maquis. And I can't remember how it ended up in the Delta Quadrant. Maybe the caretaker grabbed it for some reason. I don't know. But it reminds me of that episode a bit. I get them mixed up, even though I forgot what that one's called. I thought that was called Warhead. I can't remember. Never mind. Anyway, right. So moving on. A good episode, that. Yes, it's fine. And finally, it's Equinox Part 1. We've got a cliffhanger. Yay, a two-parter to end the cliffhanger. And here we see the USS Equinox, which is I always forget. Nova class. I think it's Nova. I always get them mixed up. Like, and the Titan. I always get them mixed up. Anyway, it's the USS Equinox, however you want to pronounce it. We see that something's happening. Its shields are failing, or something's attacking them, and it turns out it's these aliens. There's Captain Ransom and his crew. There he is, Captain Ransom. They're in the Delta Quadrant as well. I'm not exactly sure when they got taken by the caretaker. Obviously, it was before Voyager got taken, because Voyager obviously the last one that were taken. Well, you'd think so anyway, wouldn't you? Because they weren't there that long, unless the caretaker grabbed another ship as well after Voyager, but we didn't notice. I don't know. But anyway, because caretaker is a ray were destroyed, wasn't it, in the first episode. But anyway, they're fighting these aliens. There we go, it shows them there. Look, oh, for Pete's sake. Look, anyway, there. They're going to show. There we go. These aliens come out of a subspace realm or something. They look scary. And so that's what's happening there. And they pick up a distress signal. There's Voyager. And there's, look, it's a Federation ship. And look, they found him. He don't look well, does he? Anyway, so that's the only Ransom, and I don't know, I don't know how much of the crew's left. There's not many of the crew left. And so they're welcome with open arms on Voyager. But Janeway's in charge. She lets that be known. Yes. Also, he knows B'Elanna. He calls her BLT because it's hilarious. B'Elanna Torres, but he were a friend of hers at the academy, even though she wasn't there very long. But whatever. There we go. Tom gets a bit jealous. But it turns out something's going on, and obviously the Equinox crew are baddies, it turns out. And they were using those aliens as a form of energy because it boosts their warp capabilities, because the Nova class is not as fast as the Intrepid class. I think Warp 8, I think, is the fastest they can go. But they found a wormhole, which helped them as well. And I think something else as well. I think they used something else as well, which I can't remember. But Captain Ransom at least, wants them to get home their way, not carry on with Voyager. They want to keep using these aliens. Basically, they've got to kill these aliens to extract their energy for this enhanced warp core. The Doctor finds this out, but it's too late, and then they go back to the Equinox, and then the aliens start attacking. The Doctor gets replaced. He activates. I thought Voyager were the first one with the EMH, but no, apparently the Equinox has one as well. But he's a baddie Doctor, and he goes back to Voyager. So the swap Doctors for the first episode of season 6. Anyway, so they get back to the Equinox, and there we go. And the Equinox carries on its way. Voyager's shields fail, and all the not bad aliens. The aliens start appearing, and so it ends with us shooting at them. The Equinox is sodded off. And here it goes, and we see the last shot. Captain Janeway's being got, but obviously she hasn't. So that's how we'll leave episode 5. Ooh, exciting. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's Equinox. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's okay. Pretty good, season finale. It's all going to pot, isn't it? So we'll have to wait till season 6 to see what happens. And I've got to be honest, I can't remember. But anyway. Anywho, right. So we finally got through season 5. A decent season. That nearly rhymes, I know. But right. Hang on, let's get rid of that. So yeah, a decent season of Star Trek. A couple of episodes which weren't great, 11:59 and a couple of others, but for the most part, not a bad season. Where are we? There we go. Not a bad season at all. And so anyway, looking forward to season 6. We're nearly there, aren't we? Just 2 more seasons of Voyager, and then 4 seasons of Enterprise, and we're done. Yay! But anyway, so there we go. So yes, season 5's pretty good fun. I must admit, it is pretty good fun. Hey, that was drinky poo. Right, so we'll leave it there. We will leave it there for next time. Beady Brits always ends up popping up just as we're finishing off. I'm a bit late. You're a lot late, mate. The pool is magnificent. I imagine it is. It's a lot cooler at the moment here. It's not too bad, but I've still got my little fan down here blowing cool air on my computer. And I've got my little air conditioner thing there. It's not really an air conditioner, but they call it that. You just fill it with water and it just blows damp air at you. But yeah, still got that going. But it is a lot cooler. Right, so we'll leave it there. So, what's coming up next? What day are we on? Wednesday. On Friday, where have I put it? On Friday Night Point with Fear, we're doing Insidious, The Last Key. Yay. Look what arrived today. I ordered. This isn't the actual case. Cover, I printed off an English version. Aerobicide, aka Killer Workout. It's a German DVD that I got off Amazon. Looks the actual thing. I thought, yay! But I printed off an English. It's actually a VHS cover that I've made fit onto the thing. So we'll be doing that at some point, if it's any good. I've not actually watched it yet. Where are we? And then on Monday, we're doing Jurassic Park 3 in memory of Sam Neill. So that's what's coming up. Right. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks Justin and Win Grace and Josh Temple and Beardy Brits who came in at the death. Go and subscribe to his channel. Dad joke of the day, today was pretty bad, I must admit. But anyway, anybody else popping? I don't think. Oh, Adam Gamer popped in as well. Go and subscribe to Adam Gamer and Win Grace. I'm sure he's doing a video right now, which is probably on his channel. So yeah, so I'm doing one tomorrow about Stargate. So I've actually set up a reminder. I've actually put it on my phone. Do Stargate video. Otherwise, I'll forget. I'll start doing something else and I'll forget. But anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. Live long and prosper. I'm trying to find my thing. Where is it? Live long and prosper, and I'll see thee.